caring, committed, proud of East Texas. You're watching KTRE 9 News.
Good evening, East Texas, and thank you for joining us. Tonight, we're continuing to monitor the severe weather threat for the Piney Woods come Friday. Let's go to a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brad Lozak for more on what we can expect. Brad, a first alert weather day in effect starting Friday afternoon.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Brianna. In fact, we issued this first alert weather day back on Monday when we started to see the parameters come in place that could give us severe weather, and it's looking more and more likely like it will unfold with severe weather moving through East Texas. So that first alert weather day in place for good reason. The outlook really hasn't changed. We're at a level 2 out of 4 on our severe storm risk. This is the orange shaded color, which encompasses all of our KTRE viewing area, and I would not be surprised, there's been talk about it, but it's possible parts of our area, especially the southern reaches and eastern areas, could get upgraded to a high risk, which is very unusual. So we will keep you posted based on the conditions coming into play the next couple of days. So now's a good reminder to download our free KTRE First Alert Weather mobile app. Again, this is the best way to get all the weather information right at your fingertips at your convenience. Not only are you going to get our video updates, which kind of highlight some of these features that could give us severe weather, but you will also have access to our interactive radar and maybe most importantly, any severe weather alerts that are issued where you live. So they'll appear up here with this orange banner underneath the bar. You click on it and get the information, and better yet, it's automated so it will alert you should any warnings come down where you live. So make sure you have it handy and ready to go Friday night because again, the weather could get quite active here in our part of the state. And we may be in the heart of winter in East Texas, but we could be dealing with some springtime thunderstorms by Friday night. We'll talk about the severity and break out a timeline of when you can expect the storms where you live. All that is coming up in just a matter of moments. Stay with us.
First Alert Weather is sponsored by Wings and Whitetails.
Well, today is the 5th day in a row that we've actually had just fantastic January weather at East Texas. Really hard to beat, so hopefully you've been able to get outside and soak up some of that vitamin D, because as we all know, you can say it with me, things will eventually change. And unfortunately, this time around, they're going to be changing for the worse as the weather takes a turn for the worse, as clouds and storm chances will be ramping up by the end of the week. Outside right now, though, still pretty pleasant. We've got mostly clear skies, but it is a bit breezy. In fact, if you were outside today, you probably noticed that south wind starting to kick in, maybe knocking you off your feet just a bit out there from time to time. And right now, those temperatures and that south wind helping to moderate us just a bit. In fact, Kit Miller and Pollux at 60 degrees. We've got 61 in Huntington, 60 from Keith Bond and Lufkin, Larry and Cherwig's at 58. And Frank Phillips, one of our newer weather watchers, over in Pineland in Sabine County right now coming in at 58 degrees. So I want to go ahead and get right to the forecast because there's lots to break down. So as we go through the overnight, clouds begin to increase. Tomorrow morning, we're waking up to a completely different sky. It's going to be a cloudy sky. The winds are going to stay pretty brisk and out of the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour. And the other thing we're going to add besides clouds are some spotty showers to the forecast. Not expecting a ton of rain tomorrow, but you may notice a few damp roadways out there, may come across a brief shower or two. But then as we get into Friday, here comes our potent western storm system. Now at 3 o'clock, we may be fairly dry, but do notice there's going to be a line of storms developing along the front. That's the main show that comes in Friday night. Out ahead of it, though, once we get towards sundown, we'll have to watch for individual supercell storms that may form ahead of that line. If that happens, they could be tornadic. So that's why we're going to have to monitor things closely. In terms of the main storm complex, Futurecast has it getting in here right around 10 o'clock to midnight. Now, again, the time will vary. It could get here maybe a little ahead of schedule, or it could get here closer to, say, midnight until 1 a.m. It's just going to depend on where you live. But overall, once that main line of storms moves through, then we're in the clear, and then we'll be clearing things out by the time we get into Saturday. So here's an estimated arrival of the main line of storms, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., as it starts to approach Crockett and areas near the Trinity River. If you're along the Highway 59 corridor from Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Corrigan, all the way down to Livingston, I would say 9 p.m. to midnight is kind of a little threshold or window to see that main line of storms. And then for our good friends over in the Sabine National Forest, Hemphill, Jasper, Newton, Burkeville, over towards Toledo Bend country, more likely midnight to 3 a.m. for you. So more of an overnight event as you head further off to the east, just because everything will be advancing in that direction. And in terms of the main threats, again, I think damaging winds is our overall primary concern. We're talking winds 70, 80 miles per hour in some of the storms, but do notice that tornado risk is in the medium category. Usually it's low, so that's why we're going to have to watch for any supercells that develop, because those could rotate and perhaps produce a tornado. So for tonight, clouds will be increasing from the south and west. Not as cold as recent nights, as we're down to 52. 72 mild degrees tomorrow with a 40% chance of some of those passing showers. And then those showers turn into thunderstorms once we get into Friday night. Right now, the storm chance at 80%. Saturday, much improved weather. We start off with clouds, but I think sunshine returns in the afternoon. And then we'll have a very nice rest of the weekend. But do note by next week, the clouds do return, along with some low to modest chances for rain as we head through the middle part of that time frame. All right, your Grumbles Roofing battery charger winner for tonight is Habiba Awan from Nacogdoches. Of course, if you want to sign up for a universal battery charger, we've got all the details right there on our website at ktre.com.
All right, thank you, Brad.